Hey, this is Allen Covert, and you're watching Kendall Talks.
And nobody helped me.
I swear to God, I would have helped you, Sophie. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. I would have helped you. I just wasn't here.
Gotcha! Oh my God!
What's up, guys? It's your host, Kendall Tucker, man, and I'm super excited about our guest today. He's an actor, comedian, writer, producer. You've seen him in big movies such as Grandma's Boy, Big Daddy, Anger Management, Grown Ups, Happy Gilmore, Mr. Deeds. I mean, the list goes on and on. And today we have with us Allen Covert. Thanks for joining me, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. How's lockdown treating you?
You know, it's okay. Look, I can't complain. You know, I got a nice backyard. The weather's gorgeous. My biggest thing in lockdown is that I'm a single father of four. And so I'm homeschooling kindergarten, third grade, sixth grade, and eighth grade.
Nice.
My poor son in kindergarten will never learn how to read. I've just given up. It's just too much. But, you know, look, we're trying to get by. We go for walks. They're getting antsy. I'm getting antsy. But so far, everyone's safe. But, yeah, I'm ready to bust out.
Yeah, man. I seen on your Instagram the other day, did you end up taking that beach trip?
No. You know, if it was just me and I wasn't a single father of four, I'd be at the beach because I don't care. Yeah, I can't put myself in the position of getting arrested and then the kids I'll be like, don't take my kids.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
I got a hard enough time just trying to justify some of the movies I make.
Yeah, I bet. And you know, speaking of movies, congrats on all your success, man. I can't think of one movie you've been a part of that I haven't enjoyed. And I mean, that's pretty impressive. So yeah, congrats.
That's awesome. Man. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. So when did you decide you wanted to be in the entertainment business?
When I was young, I wanted to be an actor, and you know, I ended up going to NYU to take acting, and I met this kid. We were in a class called History of Comedy, and I sat down next to this guy, and we made each other laugh, and we both loved Caddyshack, and his name was Adam Sandler.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then him and I went back to his dorm room, and he's like, this is my roommate, Tim Herlihy, who wrote Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, Wedding Singer, Big Daddy, you know, he wrote them all, and Waterboy. And then our other partner who retired, Jack G, lived down the hall, and Frank Caracci, who directed Wedding Singer and Waterboy and Click and Ridiculous Six, and probably more that I can't remember. Him and Jack were roommates, and
oh wow,
we just all kind of had the same sensibility. And then, you know, Sandler took off like a skyrocket and kicked the door open, and we all snuck in. And we're still here.
So you guys, yeah, I've noticed like you guys have this group of people that seem to pop up in all the movies together, and it's awesome. It doesn't get boring, you know. It doesn't matter what character is thrown y'all's way. You guys play it extremely well.
Yeah, well, it's fun. It's like, look, when Adam and I first moved out to Los Angeles, literally the first three people we met in Los Angeles in the business, because everyone was hanging out at the Improv on Melrose back then. The first three people we met were Judd Apatow, Schneider, and David Spade.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And we already knew Chris Rock and Colin Quinn from New York because Adam had been doing stand-up. So it was weird. Adam was like this kid, but he was doing a lot of stand-up. So he kind of was like, he knew all the older, more successful people. And yeah, but yeah, those were the first people we met. And then we meet people along the way and like hanging out with them. So we do a lot of stuff. And plus it's fun for other people. Like, you know, whoever, you know, will be like, hey, we got this part. You want to come have fun for a couple days? Come out for a week, wherever we're filming. Yeah. It's always better to have your friends around.
Yeah, it makes it even more fun, right?
Yeah.
So what was your very first acting gig role that you got? Do you remember?
Um, the very first thing I ever did on film was the first movie Sandler did, called Babes Ahoy or The Unsinkable Shecky. You can find it on video somewhere.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's this crazy movie where he goes out he's a waiter on a cruise ship who wants to be a stand-up. And they brought me along. The whole budget was, I think, $50,000. And they brought me along to be like the crew member. And I literally was like doing everything needed. And then they let me be in one scene. And that helped me get into the union. And then I didn't, you know what's funny is one of the other first things I did was I did an episode of a TV show called Ferris Bueller.
Oh, yeah?
And my buddy, who I actually lived in the house, I was like Sandy Wexler. I lived in the guest house by the pool, but it was not as nice as Sandy's. Yeah. And he was Ferris Bueller on the show.
Oh, nice.
And so he got me an audition, and I got this one part. And the funniest thing was his sister was played by Jennifer Aniston. And in the episode I did one scene. I played her college boyfriend.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so basically the only scene is Jennifer Aniston running out of her fraternity house with her shirt kind of ripped, and me like going, "Where you going?"
That's awesome.
Then I did an episode of Roseanne where I had like one word, and then you could only see my finger because I was I was in front of them on an airplane, and I was like pointing like, "Hey." And my dad, who was never funny, called me the next day and was like, "I heard you on Roseanne last night." And I was like, "That might be the best joke you've ever said in your life."
That is awesome. That's awesome.
But you know, that was a story because I used to run the showroom at the Improv in Santa Monica. They had a second club down there. And I don't know if you remember the whole fiasco where Roseanne sang the national anthem.
Slightly, I think.
They had her on Mother's Day sing the national anthem at the San Diego Padres. Now, Roseanne can't sing, but that was the joke. But people thought she was disrespecting the anthem.
Oh, wow.
And it turned into this huge thing where, like, George H.W. Bush said it was disgraceful. He was the president at the time. So anyway, crazy rambling story. Roseanne has a place in Malibu where her and Tom Arnold are living.
Mm-hmm.
The Improv was on the way to Malibu. So one night I turn around and they're standing there, just looking out. As the person who runs the showroom, the minute a huge superstar comes in, you automatically go, "Do you want to go on stage?"
Yeah.
You know? So I said, "Hey, Roseanne, you want to go on stage?" And she goes, No, nobody wants to see me. Everybody hates me. And I go, "You're fucking Roseanne." "I'm sorry, am I allowed to curse?"
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. I'm like, "You're fucking Roseanne. Are you kidding me? They'll go nuts." No. And Tom was like, "Yeah, go. And she went on stage and she got killed and people loved her and she came off. And then next time I saw Tom, he's like, "What do you do?" I was like, "I want to be an actor." He goes, "Call me tomorrow at the show." And they gave me like a line on the show, and it was fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. It's cool hearing, you know, how you got your start, and you know, the more and more every movie you got one more line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
And then, you know, what's funny is like I was supposed to be in Billy Madison. I was in Airheads. I got a small part in that. And then I was supposed to be in Billy Madison. I was supposed to be the other friend with Norm Macdonald.
Oh, yeah.
And the studio, I don't know, the head of the studio was just like, I don't think his audition was good. And so I didn't get the part.
Oh, wow.
And so I was baffled by that. But in the meantime, Judd Apatow and Steve Brill, who directed a million of our movies as well as created The Mighty Ducks, and they had written a movie called Heavyweights.
Mm-hmm.
And they called me and said, "Hey, we have a part. Come be this guy. Come to North Carolina." And I was Kenny the cameraman, and I it was I was there for the whole time. So I made for me, a significant amount of money. And that was the last time I was a waiter. And then after that, we started, we started being a little more in control of what we were doing.
That's awesome.
But also on the side, Sandler and I had started doing Sandler had started doing comedy albums. And when he got out to LA, I was working on those, writing and producing with him.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. So with you being heavily involved in comedy, I want to know, who's your top 3 favorite comedians?
Oh, wow. You mean like stand-up or?
Overall.
Look, most of my favorite stand-ups went on to do movies. Oh, wow.
Okay.
I mean, that's hard because there's so many legends. I mean, look, I have friends that I think are the funniest people I've ever seen. I mean, well, obviously Sandler. I mean, Sandler on stage, I've been touring with him for 30 years. The guy kills nonstop. It's insane how good he is, how much material he has, how loose he is. Chris Rock. But I mean, old school guys, I loved Buddy Hackett. I loved George Carlin. Shanling. Oh, dude, no one crushes like Shanling. What a great joke writer he was. I mean, there's so many. I'm like drawing a blank now, but they're all so great. But Shanling is the king. Pryor's unbelievable.
So many to choose from.
You know who's a great stand-up? Cedric, man. Cedric the Entertainer.
Yeah, he's really
Schwarzen's unbelievable. Spade, they all crush. It's Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
He's one of the guys when we would go on tour that I would always watch Norm because he would be different every night.
Oh, really?
You know, Sandler changes it up, but like Norm was only doing like 20 minutes, so he would do completely different stuff every night.
That's awesome.
And like stuff you didn't even realize he was writing jokes about. Like he would have the greatest take on it, like Caitlyn Jenner. It was literally one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I love guys I love all those guys. Comedy they're all great. I mean,
I'd agree. Everyone you named is extremely, extremely talented. Now, out of all the movies you've been a part of, do you have a favorite role that you've played?
I mean, I lean towards Grandma's Boy because it was such a love of, it was such a labor of love. I mean, me and Swartzen and Barry Wernick wrote it. I produced it, starred in it. It literally called in every favor I ever had, and I like it. It's a good one.
It's a hilarious movie.
Every one of them I've been able to have fun and do different stuff. So like, Happy Gilmore was a blast. And that was my beard. I grew that.
I heard that.
Yeah. I had fun in Deeds. I like some of the dumb stuff I do where I just show up for one scene. Like my stuff in Jack and Jill, I had so much fun just being crazy again as the homeless guy. So.
Or like 51st Dates, 10 Seconds.
Oh my God, 10 Second Tom. That's another one where like I'm there. I show up 3 times, twice. Just people still come up to me talking about that, which is fine. I love it.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Oh, and The Wedding Singer. People yelled they were cones at me constantly.
Yeah, those are all great movies, man. What do you have out of all the movies you and Adam did together, I guess they're all kind of like your babies, huh? Like they all have their certain place.
I mean, look, the thing with us is like, look, I don't think every movie is the greatest movie ever made, but I love parts of every one of them because we worked our asses off on it. That's the difference. Adam doesn't just, sometimes he'll just act like when he does serious stuff. But even on that, like, he's very involved with the writers and developing his character and with the directors on helping, figuring it out. And, he likes to let them have their vision. But when we're doing one of our movies, we start from an idea or from a script. And I mean, I can still remember when he did how I remember the night he came up with The Wedding Singer. We were shooting Happy Gilmore, and he just walked out of the kitchen where he was and had a bowl of cereal. He goes, "You know what would be funny?" And I go, "What?" And he goes, "If I was a guy who sang in a band that performed at weddings, and then my fiance dumps me, and then I had to go to weddings and still sing for people." And that was literally it.
That's hilarious. So he's coming
I
up
went,
with
"You know
movies
what'd
on
be great
set.
if I literally said, you know what'd be great? If I drove the limo that works at the catering hall." I'm not afraid to get myself in when I want in.
Yeah, definitely. So he was coming up with movies on set of another movie.
Always. And then we were also writing the second album. We were like, I don't know if you're familiar with the work on the albums he did. Like the album What the Hell Happened to Me? It had a piece of shit car. I don't know if you know that stuff.
Oh yeah, I've heard.
Yeah, so we wrote a lot of that up in Vancouver while we were filming Happy Gilmore. And then when we were done, we'd go back and we'd record the albums. And it was always kind of like we'd have doing stuff in the house. We all kind of shared a house together for a while.
Awesome.
We did all right, man.
Now,
no one's complaining.
I'm a little late to the party, but my wife and I just watched Father of the Year on Netflix, which was produced by you. And that movie was freaking hilarious.
Dude, a week from today, the day we're filming this, May 13th, David Spade, Lauren Lapkus, Rob Schneider, Nick Swardson, Sarah Chalk. It's called The Wrong Missy.
Oh, another one coming out?
It's on Netflix a week, Wednesday the 13th.
Sweet. I'll definitely check that out.
Yeah, check out the trailer. It's ridiculous. It's an R-rated comedy. Lauren Lapkus, this woman is so funny. It's ridiculous.
Were you involved in that movie at all?
Yeah, I produced it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
definitely. I'm definitely.
I produced it with Kevin Grady and Judith Mall, who work at our company, and the guys who wrote The Do-Over wrote it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's just an R-rated crazy comedy, and Lauren's like the crazy one in the movie. Spade's like the straight man, and she's just like destroying him. It's the funniest.
I just watched The Do-Over last night with my wife.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun one. That was a lot of fun.
That's hilarious. Now, talking with other actors, I'll ask how long did it take to film the movie, and they usually reply by saying, "Oh, we filmed for 3-6 months, whatever." But since you write and produce as well, I want to know, what's the time frame look like from when you've got an idea up to when the movie actually comes out? How long do you usually work on a film?
It depends. I mean, look, if we have a script and we like it and we're ready to go, it'll probably be a year from beginning to end. Getting it ready, hiring everyone, deciding where to shoot it, casting, filming, editing, and then it's like marketing. And, as a producer, you got to stay on top of, you got to be involved in all of that. Like literally right before I called you, I was looking at Netflix sent over a bunch of, what's that stuff called? Like GIFs from the movie, from the Wrong Missy movie.
Oh, cool.
So that we have that stuff all ready to go, so that they once the movie's out, they just start sending it out. And we had another 60-second, TV spots and stuff. So it could be a year. It could be a lot longer. I mean, look, if you look at like Ridiculous Six, Sandler and Hurley, he wrote that movie like 10 years before, like 8-9 years before we shot it. Could never really get anyone to do it. And then Netflix was like, "We'll do it. You got all these famous people in it? Yeah, sure."
Yeah, why not?
Well, they've really changed some of the way things are done. Well, especially the way they do them, because it's just, they're not, you don't have to convince someone to get a babysitter, get in the car, drive over to the mall, pay $50, get, dinner and food and popcorn in the movie. So it's a different way, and they go everywhere all at once, and it's actually pretty cool. At first we were a little nervous. We were like, because Ridiculous Six was their first movie that they made. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That was the first movie Netflix ever made from start to finish. That was only for Netflix. And, you know, we were nervous. We're like, what? And now we're like, now everyone thinks we were geniuses. And I'm like, I'll take it.
That's awesome. And Netflix is really stepping up their game, man. I mean, they got some of the best shows and movies coming out. And
we got a Halloween family movie coming that is like Waterboy.
Oh, wow.
Goofy. It is so goofy. Sandler's so goofy in it. And my God, talk about a cast. There's a million people in it. Every time you turn around, you're like, oh my God.
When is that expected to drop? Around
That's
Halloween?
Halloween. It'll be around Halloween.
Oh, sweet. I'm excited about that one.
Oh yeah, dude. Sandler as goofy as he gets, living with his mom in Salem, Massachusetts. And he considers himself the Halloween expert and monitor and safety advisor.
Now, there's not a trailer to that out yet, is there?
No.
That's exciting. That's going to be hilarious.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Now, do you have any hobbies outside of the music industry that you enjoy besides DJing on Instagram?
I love that. That just started recently. I just sat out in my backyard at night with nothing to do. And then in the morning, too, I wake up and just whatever mood I'm in. Look, my musical taste is all over the place. I haven't even gotten into like me playing big band or 40s music. I mean, because trust me, there's shit in there I love. But look, I got 4 kids, man. Yeah, there's not much I do. I love working. I love what I do. Luckily, my kids can come on location and, you know, visit and be with us when we're shooting. And I like going to concerts. I don't go near as much as I'd like to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, look, I love my job, and it's not a job. It's like I get to go to work with my best friend of 30 years, and we make jokes and try to make things funny. And, you know, we're doing what we always wanted to do. So, you know, I'm blessed. Even during the corona, I'm just like, I got no complaints.
Yeah.
Everyone in my family's healthy.
Yeah, that's always a blessing, another day of life.
Yeah.
What's some advice you can give to someone wanting to pursue the entertainment business?
Well, it depends on what you want to do, you know. Look, I'm from Florida originally.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And a few years ago, this young girl from Florida hit me up on Twitter and was like, I'm from your hometown. You should follow me because of that. And so I followed her. I went, okay, that's pretty aggressive and upfront. And literally all she ever posted was stuff like, I work at Starbucks. It sucks. I mean, and then one day she DM'd me and said, I'm thinking of doing stand-up. What advice can you give me? And I said, and this is advice I would give to anyone, but her story ended crazy. So I just said, write new jokes every day, even if they suck. Make sure to try to write one good joke that you like every day. And try to get on stage as much as you can. And it doesn't matter if there's 4 comedians in the audience and that's the only people there, and they're only there because they're waiting to go on after you. Get on stage and tell your jokes as much as you can. Because the key to stand-up to me is finding out who you are on stage. Because it may not be who you are like telling a story to someone. You know, every comedian is doing a character on stage pretty much. Yeah. Even if it's just them, it's still different than they are when they're off. And so I told her that, and she would send me clips of her at some coffee house and stuff. And last year she came in 3rd in the funniest person in Florida contest at the Improv. She opens for Brian Callen. Her name's Jackie Sanchez. She is so goddamn funny. And it's literally just like, now she works full time as a comic in Florida, and she's just trying to figure out if she wants to go to New York or if she wants to go to LA or San Francisco to try to, you know, do bigger. But literally she went, okay, and then just started doing it. You just started writing jokes, getting up on stage, throwing out shit that didn't work. And she just literally, she was telling me some nights she would get on stage twice a night. And so for that, that's how that's because look, right away, you have a place where you can have people come see what you do.
Yeah.
Like back when I was breaking in, you couldn't just get a cell phone and shoot a video.
Yeah.
You know, you had to have like a show that you could put on tape or do stand-up to invite people down. For acting, I mean, it's almost the same. For acting, though, it's different. You got to be where the work is. You know, you're not going to break out big as an actor in Montana.
Yeah.
You got to go to LA, make it big, and then go buy a ranch in Montana.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, so for acting, but look, there's a lot of places now. Atlanta's nonstop. I know people that left here and moved to Atlanta and get a lot of work there. Atlanta's a big film hub. New York, you can live in, LA. You know, and those are still the big ones, but you kind of have to be where the work is.
Yeah.
You know, and then for writing, just write. Try to, watch the movies you like and try to write them. And I mean, look, I don't know how to get into producing because I just we all learned on the job.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, you just got to get your foot in the door, be a PA, and work your ass off.
Yeah.
I have a kid who was my assistant. He's a father now. He was my assistant. And the reason he became my assistant is because he was a PA on one of our movies and literally was just like Johnny on the spot.
Nice.
Just, he was there. You needed something, he got it done. He never complained. And at the end of the movie, I was like, hey, I need an assistant. What are you doing? And then, he worked on however many movies with us. And then I think he's, now he's at Activision and he literally heads up like he got out of the movie business, but he's at Activision and he heads up like 2 teams of people that they build like the short films for E3 and all that stuff,
Nice.
One of my assistants directed Grandma's Boy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and my last assistant is now a creative executive at our company, and he was the associate producer on Hubie Halloween.
Nice.
But it's just, you just got to get your foot in the door. It's a lot of pain in the ass, hard work. It's crap work, and you just got to, but the people who do it well and work their butts off, people notice.
Yeah.
Almost everyone that works, if you look at people in the production side, whatever it is, they all started as PAs or production assistants in whatever department and worked their way up. And
so it's all about the hustle and grind.
Always. Everything is.
Absolutely. Well, Allen, man, I appreciate you sitting down with me, bro. And I keep doing your thing, making people.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully we can do this again in the near future in person.
Yeah. Any recommendations for my DJ list tonight?
I'll send you some of my music.
Oh, you have music?
I do have.
Do you have any on Spotify?
I do have stuff on Spotify.
Send me a link. I'll sneak it in.